more about that winter storm then.
Sure.
How are you feeling about what has happened since?
Well, I was, again, very disappointed with the testimony we heard from the PUC chair and the CEO of ERCOT, because they took no responsibility and they had no ideas or suggestions for how to avoid it. So that's why I asked them to step down and resign. We're just beginning to scratch the surface of why this happened. I can tell you a couple of quick things. One is they told the governor on the Saturday before the storm they were prepared. Well, they clearly were not prepared. We've discovered in the 9 hours of testimony and other investigations that we've been doing, they had 14,000 megawatts of power down for maintenance. Now that's routine. I think moving forward, they will move that maintenance to March. I mean, we don't normally have that kind of weather in February, and that's why they do the maintenance then, but we should move that. But they didn't take that into account. They also assumed that they would get 12 to 15,000 megawatts of power from wind and solar, and they were getting less than 5,000. They should have known that. They assumed that every plant would be operating. Well, if you have in West Texas, as we did with the wind chill, 20 degrees below, they should have taken into account that some plants might have problems with equipment freezing up. And what they also didn't take into account is when they started turning off the power, they actually turned off the power in West Texas and other places in Texas that were generating the gas to the plants to create the energy. So these are things that you just step back and say, wait a minute. They didn't take anything of that into account. So we're going to address all of those issues. Secondly, the communications was terrible. They did not tell any of us or get the word out to the public that this was going to be anything more than brownouts. We should have, looking back, they should have said to us, tell the people of Texas, you may lose power for a day or two, like we do in a hurricane. Put gasoline in your car, fill your bats up with water in case you can't flush the toilets, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it was just a total breakdown of preparation and communication. And that's why we needed. Look, here's the bottom line. I'm the president of the Senate as lieutenant governor. No bill gets to the floor unless I approve it going to the floor for a vote. I will not allow a bill to go to the floor that doesn't fully address these issues and other issues, whether it comes out of a Senate committee or it comes over from the House. We're not going to make suggestions about winterization. It will be a mandate on what we think are the best ideas. And we're going to tell those in the industry to do it. So I'm putting this on my back as the president of the Senate. I'm working with the governor and the speaker, of course, and we all want to resolve this, but I'm personally taking responsibility to fix this. And we're going to get it done. There are a lot of other aspects of this. For example, if witnesses don't want to come in and testify, I'm going to give the power of the subpoena to my chairman to subpoena people, which we seldom, if ever, do. But we want everyone to come to the table and answer questions if need be. We want to be sure there was no manipulation or profiteering in the gas markets. We want to look at these variable rate plans. Most of these people have gotten these sky-high bills you read about who are on adjustable rate plans. They were getting the advantage of very cheap kilowatt. The average person has a fixed plan paying 10 to 15. Some of these people are paying 2, 3, and 4 cents a plan, and they had no idea this was going to hit them like that. So I'm telling them, don't panic. We'll figure that out for you. But I'm thinking maybe we should do away with these variable rate plans so no one gets in this position. Again, very few people are on those plans. Most people are on a fixed rate plan. And for those of you on that fixed rate plan, your bill will probably go up this month just because you turned on the heat more, like any time, but your rate is fixed. That's why you have a fixed rate plan. So your rate's not going up. But these people in these variable rate plans, they're the ones that went up skyrocketing to these big bills. But we'll figure this out for those people who have those bills. Don't panic. So a lot of things that we have to do. One of the first things we're going to do is pass a bill as soon as we can, I think in the next several weeks, that will become law immediately. I think we'll have enough votes for that to take place to totally reform the ERCOT board so that we can make new appointments to that board. We have to replace the Public Utility Commission chair that resigned after I requested it this week. So we have a lot to do before the end of session. And if we have to go into another month, then we'll go into another month. But I don't want to go into the hottest days of summer or another winter next year with the same people who were in charge with the same thinking. We've got to change preparation and planning and communication.
ERCOT CEO is yet to resign, correct?
Right,
And,
correct.
And you stated earlier he's going to be out one way or another. Is that what you're saying?
One way or the other. One way or the other. We will, if he does not step down on his own, and we may have to reconstitute the entire board to make that happen.
How do you push him out if he doesn't step down on his own?
Well, first of all, we're going to look at his contract and see what the contract says. And we're in the process of that. Secondly, when we pass ERCOT reform, right now, the board of ERCOT is chosen by other board members on ERCOT under the guidance of the PUC. The new board will be confirmed by the Senate, like almost every board member of any commission is, as you know. When the governor appoints someone to any board or region, it comes to the Senate for a hearing and confirmation. So we will select a new board that we believe we can have confidence in. And there may be some people from the current board that stay. I don't know. The current board is 16. I think the number could be much less than that. 16 is a little unwieldy. We don't need people from out of state. Most of the people have resigned. We're out of state people. So we will have a board in place that I think will do the right thing if he doesn't do the right thing.
Lieutenant Governor, anything that you'd like to bring out, whether it be on Texas reopening or on the winter storm? That the one thing I want to ask is that,
yes,
you know, we have heard from a few people who believe that reopening Texas may be a easy distraction to avoid conversations and the spotlight being on the debacle that was the winter storm. Do you think there's any?
Probably Democrats saying that. But I can tell you, as I said, and being very candid, when I issued my letter on Monday for the resignations, I didn't talk to the governor about it beforehand. And the governor didn't talk to me or the speaker about what his plan was until, maybe an hour or so before the press conference. So we have a lot on our plate here. I don't believe anything was connected. In fact, I think had we not had the winter storm, the governor may have made this announcement last week. So we can do more than one thing at a time. Both of these are very big issues. Dealing with COVID and dealing with the storm are very big issues. So I don't see a connection, and whatever the political pundits want to say is up to them.